and delayed. I want to lose 10 kilos. When? Allah. Sometimes. When all your goals are vague, undefined, impossible, trivial, and delayed, you are setting yourself to failure. And you are setting yourself to put yourself in. And thus, increase your chance of being unhappy. Which is what you're trying to do here today, right? Make sure that the goal and the path to the goal is unclear as possible. If somebody asks you, what do you want to do in your life? Your answer should be, oh man, I want to be something. How many of you have heard this phrase? I want to be something.
Hello?
You know, TV is something. Aim for something beyond the goal that you want to reach. Why? Because when you aim higher than what you want to get, you are setting yourself to failure as well. Let's say I want to lose 10 kilograms. That's my aim. I want to look fit. No.
Yep.
I want top muscles. I want to be a bodybuilder. I want to be a person who just walk into the room and everybody like, oh. Your aim was just to lose some weight, just to be healthy. But now you aim further because you want to convince yourself, you know what, I'm going to fail sometimes. And to do that, you go shopping. You go buy a suit that's not even your size. And you go home and you hang it in your closet. Why? Because you tell yourself, one day. One day I'm going to wear it. But however, every morning you open your closet. And every morning you see that suit.
One day.
And every morning you hate yourself even more. Because you used to be 80 kilograms, now you're 85. Now you're 90. And that suit is slowly and slowly further away. And now you hate yourself more. And now you are unhappy. How many of you do that, by the way?
No one.
Come on, let's be honest. See? It's always been there. But now,
You see.
now you can see.
Dum, dum,
And that takes me to the next step. Buy things. You know, your mind, even though with all the stuff that you've been trying to corrupt it, will always try to bounce back. It will always try to save you. Your mind will have dreams of achieving goals and being the first to do something and having something meaningful in life. But also, we want to occupy our minds with debts and bills and loans. And that's why it's very important for you to go shopping. Ladies, go buy things that you don't even need. Go buy things just because it looks good. Max that credit card. It's maxed out, get another one. Max the second one. Max the third one. Why? What's happened? The later of life, if you want to do something meaningful with your life, you tell yourself, well, I'm sorry, I can't really afford it. I bought that car that I barely drove last year. Now I have a loan I have to pay. You could be in a job that you hate, but you don't have a motive to leave this job. Why? Because if you leave it, how do you pay your bills and how do you pay your loans? You know what, let me just stay in this job. Even though that I hate this job, let me just remain here. See, when you have enough money saved up, you can take risks. If it doesn't work, hey, at least I'm not broke. At least nobody wants money from me. So that's why it's important for you to not save any money. In order for you to be unhappy, don't save anything. Buy things that you don't need. Buy that suit that you think one day I will wear and hang it in your closet. You're not going to wear it, but hey, who cares? Buy it until you are crippled with the debt that you live your whole life just paying that debt. How many of you here have a loan in the bank? Oh, come on, don't lie. We all have. Now, some of these loans are big and some of them are small. Ask yourself, was it worth it?
No.
The thing that I got the loan for, was it worth it?
No.
If it's for your self-development to achieve something higher, then thank you, you are doing the right step. But if it's just to buy something luxurious, to buy a trip somewhere, or a car that you barely drive, then thank you, congratulations, you have crippled yourself to a debt that will not free you for years. And once you're freed and you want to do something with your life, guess what? Now it's too late. How many of you have been doing this for years? We all have. And now,
You can see
you
it.
can see it. Dum, dum. Number 7. Direct approach to happiness. With all the things that I've told you about, your mind's still struggling. Your mind still wants you to be happy. And after a while, we cannot fool the mind anymore. So what do? We fool the mind. Say, you know what, okay, you want to be happy? Let's make you happy. Your mind will always look at that island of happiness. Always dreaming to be there one day. Always thinking about it. So what do? We trick our mind to be happy. How? We feed our mind the trivial things that could make it happy. We tell our mind, oh, so you want a vacation? All right, let's just take a week. Let's go to, let's just take a friend and we'll fly to Vegas, like Dubai, like any of those places. Let's go. And we go there. And yes, for a few days, you're having fun. You're enjoying yourself. Then you're back. Wait, that's not what I want. I want something more. Oh, so you want something more? How about I buy this nice fancy purse that you're always wanting? Huh? And we go shopping. And we buy ourselves something fancy. We come home. Still not happy. So we're forcing our mind every now and then on trivial things to distract our mind from our main goal. The main goal that will make us really happy on the long run. Imagine if you go fishing. How would you catch a fish? How do you catch a fish?
Fishing boat?
No, you jump in with your hands. If you want to be unhappy, jump in with your hands. Try to catch it, it goes away. Try to catch it again, it goes away. After a while, what's going to happen? All the fish is going to leave you. Okay, this guy is crazy, he's just like, put your hands in the water. But how about if you stay in your boat? And you move your own tactics. You get a hook, a bait, throw it, and wait. What's going to happen? Eventually the fish will come to you. When you try to push happiness too far, today I'm going to make myself happy. You're pushing yourself too hard. How about working on yourself first? Ask yourself, what will make me ultimately happy? Then what am I lacking in order for me to reach that goal? That will make me ultimately happy. So start working on yourself. Even though the journey might be too hard and too harsh, but start it at least. Because eventually the fish will come to you. But hey, today we want to be unhappy. So let's distract our mind. Let's jump in the water. Try to catch the fish with our hands. How many of us have been doing this? We all have. But now,
You can see it. Dum, dum.
be around real people. Now what do we mean by real people? They're always saying, I judge you by the people that you hang out with. Tell me who you hang out with, I'll tell you who you are. Now there are several types of people that will come into your life, but they are mainly categorized into 3 categories. You have the pessimists, who tell you, are you stupid? Are you an idiot? No, you can't. No, this is possible. You can't do this. And they crush your dreams. Now this group is easily avoidable. Because you know they're nagging in your head and you don't want that too much negativity, so you leave this group. The other group is the optimists. Whatever you want, you can have. Dream as far as the sky, you will reach. This is the group that will make you happy. We don't want this group. We want to remain unhappy.
Yeah.
Now there's the realistic group. the group that gives you advices, that sounds like they care about you. But what they're doing is they're creating more and more obstacles. You want to be a businesswoman? Oh, that's a great idea. You know what? Maybe one day you will, but you know, you need to get a permit from the government. That's going to cost you, about $30,000. And then you have to have a study, and I don't know if you know anybody who's really good at business. That's going to take about 6 or 7 months. Then you have to take a loan from the bank. It will cost you this much money. And then you need to find a location to put your store in. Now, I sounded at the beginning that I was supportive. But what I'm doing to you now is I'm giving you obstacles. Things that will make you think, you know what, this is too much. Maybe I really shouldn't do this. I thought it was an easy thing that I can jump into. But no, it's not. Put yourself around real people. Those real people will always remind you that whatever you have in your mind is way too far than have you thought. It's way, way out of your league. They're not going to tell you it's impossible, but whatever they're telling you makes you think that it is. How many of us have friends like that? See, you're already in the right way. And now,
See.
number 9, compare yourself. They always say, you always compete with yourself. That's just nonsense. You compete with others. You have to win over others. And no matter how much you achieve, always compare yourselves to others. We saw earlier today a line of DTMs on the stage. Is anybody here? No, anybody? Okay, you are. Please stand up. Let's give them a big round of applause, everybody. What's your name? Alia. How long have you been at Toastmasters?
Since 2012.
2012.
Yes.
And you got the TTM this year. You know, that's a really great accomplishment. You know, I've been at Toastmasters for 10 years, and I'm still not no, it's like I'm still not up to your level. So I look at you with admiration and envy that you're able to achieve something that high. Are you happy? You are very happy, right?
Yes.
Okay, stay standing, please. Sulaiman Mama, you're a DTM yourself, right?
Yes, sir.
Would you please stand up? So, yes, please go around. Now, aside from being at DTM, you're also our past district director, right?
Yes, sir.
Have you been a district director before? No. No, but see, he has. I see.
But she was a great supporter for me.
Please have a seat. Any other DTMs here in the room? Yes. When did you get your DTM?
2014? 2014.
14?
Yeah.
You got it in 2018. I see. Please have a seat. Mr. Abdul Qasim, are you here? Oh, he's not here. Mr. Abdul Qasim is getting his DTM for the second time. Is this your first or second time? First. That's it. And now all of a sudden this DTM of hers doesn't sound so beautiful anymore. Why? Because you start comparing yourself with people in the room. I haven't been a district director. Like it took me this long to be a DTM. And yes, I was proud of myself before, but now maybe I'm not anymore. By the way, I did that to myself too. Right after I won, I was like, oh my God, the first Arab to ever win the world championship of public speaking. You know what? I'm going to Google the other world champions. Okay, so the Najaya is the first Asian. I'm the second. I see. Okay, it took me 6 years from ever joining Toastmasters until I won. That's it takes. Joined Toastmasters and 6 months later became the world champion. It took me 6 years. I see. And so on until I felt even my accomplishment is worth nothing. Because I started comparing myself to others. Yes, you will achieve something big in your life, But guess what? There will always be someone ahead of you. That doesn't mean that your accomplishments is worthless. Why? Because there will always be people behind you who hasn't achieved what you achieved. But hey, we want to be unhappy. So let's just keep looking at those people who have done so much that we haven't. The more we have, whatever accomplishment that you achieve, you will hate yourself later. People come to you and say, congratulations. Yeah. And you try to achieve something more. You get something more, and you realize there's somebody already ahead of me. Congratulations. Yeah. And thus you are unhappy. How many of you do that? You're already in the right track. See? It's always been up there. But now,
You can see it. Combo.
focus only on yourself. You know, if you go to the piers and you see people fish crabs, after they fish a crab, they put them in a barrel. And if you notice, the crab is still alive. But they never cover the barrel. They never do. However, the crabs never escape. Why? Because this is what happens. Every time a crab's trying to climb up, another one says, no, I'm first. And climbs his brother. And start to climb. And all of a sudden, everybody's grabbing, everybody's down. And thus, nobody is able to escape. Why? Because every crab thinks of themselves. I want to live. I don't care if the rest die. In order for you to be unhappy, do that. Be the crab. Make sure that your happiness means the destruction of everybody else. At your job, you see someone who's really good at their job, let's try to sabotage his work. So he can rob, I can go ahead. You're in a speech contest, go and watch all the other speakers. And try to steal from the speeches. Just so when you present yours, theirs become less relevant. Why? Because your success means the destruction of everybody else. But guess what happens? Once you reach the goal, and trust me, whether you do it in the right way or the wrong way, you can always reach. But when you reach the goal, you will celebrate alone.
Yeah.
You got the promotion and you bought a cake. Nobody at work comes to say congratulations. And you're sitting there in the office with your lonely cake and your lonely knife. And you think, well, I've done everything just to get this recognition. I've risked the lives of so many others just to get to where I am, and now everybody hates me. I am so unhappy. How many of you guys do this? Or seen people who do this? See? It's always been there. And now?
You can see it.
You see, ladies and gentlemen, as I explained to you earlier, the road to unhappiness is easily achieved. Most of the stuff that I showed you here today, you're already doing. In fact, we do most of the stuff that we saw in the skit because we want to be unhappy. That's actually true. We want to be unhappy. We want people to come and say, hey, what's wrong? Are you okay? What's bothering you? Is something wrong? We want to feel the empathy of everybody else. But guess what? Sooner or later, people will move on. And you will remain by yourself in the corner crying. So, if you want to be unhappy, I gave you 10 steps to follow. And they're very easy steps. If you want to get happiness in your own life, please avoid everything that I just told you. Both steps are clear and easy to follow. Both steps, now you know what to do to achieve unhappiness or happiness. It's always been there. It's always been in your life. But now,
You can see.
You can see.
No, no.
Down, down, down.
Thank you.